Good evening, everyone, and welcome to WCFL Dolphins Talk. Thank you all for showing up tonight, and hope everyone has a good time. Let me bring on our co-host that's here right now. We have our young man Ethan. How you
What's up,
doing,
everybody?
Ethan?
Doing good.
One of the younger guys, John. Yeah,
What's up, guys?
You're not the old man yet. And then we have
Nope, you
right
still
now,
got me.
right now we have our special guest, Miss Needham.
God, you can call me Shannon. I'm Nick's
I-
mom.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry, it's habit. You told me before to call you Shannon.
That's all right. Nice manners.
So, how are you doing tonight?
Doing awesome. Just got off of work a little while ago and just headed over to my parents' house. We're going to hang out here tonight, so it's going to be a nice chill evening.
Okay. And the storm didn't bother you too much?
Not at all. I think the media kind of hyped it up as they usually do. We had kind of a consistent rain throughout that whole day. I think it was on
Yeah.
Saturday or Sunday when the big storm was supposed to hit, but it was like a regular rain. The wind did pick up quite a bit that night. It did knock my bedroom screen door or window screen off into my neighbor's yard, but that was it. I mean, I didn't hear of any damage or anything in the neighborhood, and so thank God. I'm hoping that other areas. I think the desert got a lot harder than we did.
Yeah. Let me bring in a couple of our other codes that just came in.
Oh.
There's Dolphin Winners and Tom O'Gara.
How you doing?
Welcome, gentlemen.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's going on,
up?
everyone?
So,
What's up,
Miss
everybody?
how is Nick doing right now? I mean,
Guys, he's doing so good. I was just in Miami a couple of weeks ago. I saw you, Paul. He is one of these young men that is just so religious about his training and his treatment and his diet and everything like that. So he's just, that was such a big blow to him last year in the team, but he just picked up right away and got to work. So his doctors are saying that they just can't even believe how quickly he healed. He's so far ahead of the curve. But he's doing great. He's got a really good mental state going on right now. I mean, obviously he's bummed that he couldn't be out there with the guys for training camp. He's been on the sideline doing his own drills and running, and that's been cool.
I actually saw him and got his attention for a split second. One of the last ones I was at, and I'm going actually out to training camp tomorrow. So,
cool.
If you talk to him, just tell him to look for the flag.
I will. Well, I talk to him really pretty much every day. In fact, right before I got on here, he texted me, and then we usually text and call a couple times a day. Usually me doing little mommy do errands for him. But
there's nothing wrong with that.
That's okay.
When I was around his age, I called my mom all the time. Just she was a big support, and I know you are to him as well.
He's a great kid. I mean, I miss him when I don't see him, but because of technology, it's kind of cool. We can FaceTime or Zoom or whatever we need to do to stay in touch. So it's been great.
Not to dig in or anything, will he be playing this year? Do you know or?
Oh, you guys, if I could give a date and a time, I'd give it to you. Actually, I'd be excited to give that. He will be playing this year. I can tell you that. Definitely. It's a matter of time. I mean, the coaches have told him that they really want to wait as long as possible for him to max out on his treatment and his training. They already know what he can do. So there's no sense in getting him injured or re-injured during training camp. You saw what happened to Jalen Ramsey. I mean, just devastating. But yeah, no, he's actually ready to go. He is ready to go. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks.
Good.
That's all I can say.
Now I want to talk about. Let me get it right. 4D Fam, right?
4D Fam is our nonprofit or foundation that we started, about 4 months ago, and it kind of happened organically. Nick Nick has an amazing story to tell. Kids, and especially the high school kids that are going through rough challenges with social situations and drugs and alcohol. And, he went to 3 different high schools. I don't know if you guys knew that. Moved to San Clemente and had kind of a rough time here with the social scene. He was really one of the only dark-skinned kids in our city. San Clemente is a pretty Caucasian city for the most part. And unfortunately, that whole racism thing exists. I've witnessed it his entire life and a good portion of mine. So he had a rough time being bullied in middle school and in high school. Then he went to the 3 different high schools, always trying to fit in with the kids. And unfortunately started hanging out with some of the bad kids and got involved in smoking tons of weed, and just he never gotten in any trouble. But San Clemente is just a big pot smoking city. I'm telling you that right now. We're a surf town. It's easily accessible here. I mean, weed is legal here in California, but his dad and I, after Nick living with me for 16 years, decided to move him in with his dad up in Anaheim area. And he went to Buena Park High School, finished his schooling there, and really got his act together. Unfortunately, he didn't have a lot of film because he only played varsity his senior year. If you can believe that. He got one offer in college, took it, never got a combine, invite, never got drafted. The list goes on. He has fought every piece of adversity that anybody can imagine in a young man's life and never gave up. And I don't know if you guys know much about UTEP. That's where he went to college. They went 0-12 and 1-11 his last 2 years of college. So talk about sticking with it and not giving up, this kid. So I say all this to say he's got an amazing story to tell. I had a kind of a tough year last year with an addiction to opioid pain medication after a few surgeries that I have. I'm not ashamed to say it's something that happens to a lot of people. Unfortunately, it happened to me. And I ended up going through a detox and rehab program the week that he had his injury. So that was kind of devastating. So both of us went through kind of a tough, rough patch there. But he was my biggest supporter then and to this day. And as a result of that, I started obviously going to program meetings and meeting people, and then started sharing my testimony with a lot of people. And then I was invited to speak to a few different panels. And from that, it kind of morphed into invitations to visit high schools. And the high schools, when I went there and told my story, and of course included Nick in the story, they asked, is there any chance that Nick could talk to the kids here at the school? And I asked Nick, and he said, absolutely. So Nick started joining me, and we were visiting high schools here in Southern California and just telling our story. And then that morphed into our 4D Fam organization, which it's not a moneymaker. We're not trying to make any money. We're just trying to get the word out to schools and different organizations, primarily for the youth. And we're collaborating with a few other foundations, local ones and some international, that are really spreading the word about the dangers of drugs and alcohol. And for Nick, again, addressing the kids with the social issues about how toxic social media is, setting goals, sticking to your dreams, working hard, surrounding yourself by like-minded people and things like that. And the name 4D Fam came, I'll tell you this, it's kind of cool. I'm a Christian, and at my church, we happened to be reading a chapter in the Bible, and they were talking about God's 4-dimensional love for his children, the length, width, depth, and height of his love. Like, we can't even imagine how intense it is. And I was like, oh, 4D, 4-dimensional, that's kind of cool. And I just had a vision of a cube in my head. And so I ran it by Nick. I said, what do you think about 4D, like 4-dimensional fam, like for family? And he said, yeah, that sounds cool. That'd be a cool logo on a hat or a shirt. And then it didn't even occur to me that 4D also stood for 40, and that's his number. So it's like one of those God shots. So we went with it. So that's the name of our foundation, 40 fam, and people just can't even believe like all the coincidences that are happening. But he, again, has such an amazing story to tell. And if he can't be there in person, he speaks to the young people over Zoom and addresses them, and he answers questions. And the Q&A is just incredible. These kids ask the most amazing questions, and he's so raw and honest with his answers that they're just blown away. And the teachers, the faculty, they're like, oh my God, can you guys come back next year? We want to make this a regular in our health classes. So we're going to continue to do that. So that's where it came from.
Yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful. Just want to give a shout out to some people that are watching and saying hi to Miss Needham as well. MCJB, Alex Butsky's out there, and he's saying, can't wait to call John. We'll wait for a call from John, I guess. Shake Money, Fins Up. Matt Finevil said he had a helmet signed last year from your son and couldn't have been a nicer person.
Proud. He's a sweet kid, I'll tell you that. He's got a heart of gold. And then he loves the fans.
There's a couple other someone else when they come in on Facebook on this, if they don't click the StreamYard link, we don't always see their name. So there's some that are saying hi, how are you doing, and stuff like that. Yeah, and I know I sent you that jersey to get to Nick to see about seeing what he could do to get the team to sign it. And 100% of the proceeds that we pull in from that raffle and that jersey off will go to 4D Fam.
Oh, that's very cool. That's super cool. It's going to go to a great cause. I'll tell you that.
Well, the kids are the future, and we got to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really sad what's going on in a lot of the schools. And unfortunately, like in our area, I can speak for San Clemente, a lot of the parents, their attitude is, they're just going through a phase. But unfortunately, in our area, kids were going from marijuana directly to meth and heroin in just a split second. And there were so many drug overdoses here. His dad and I decided it's not going to happen to our kids. So let's get him out of the area. I know it's everywhere, but he needed to have
if you can help prevent it, prevent it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, when I grew up, we didn't have the social media like there is now. And with the social media, it just gets people in trouble, and people think they're having fun when they're not really. And yeah, it's hard. It's harder on the kids these days.
It's hard on the adults too. I'll tell you this. If any of you know me or follow me on Twitter, I'm usually suspended on there. For the most part, because I have a very strong opinion. I'm a conservative. I'm a Christian. I speak my mind clearly. I don't say anything that's offensive or anything, but unfortunately, a lot of us are being censored right now. But Nick was definitely clear with me back his rookie year, and I don't know if any of you have ever seen the video. You can pull up Nick Needham's mom on Google. You'll see an interview that he did. I was being extremely defensive of him on Twitter when people were just bashing him. He'd miss a tackle and they'd tell him to jump off a bridge and kill himself. And I as a mother, just I just wanted to reach through. Horrible.
You really got to try and just ignore a lot of them, because the fan base itself for all the football teams. Yeah. You make one mistake and it's like you're dead to them. Yeah. And it's
so
just
fickle.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the block button comes in. I was having fun blocking people, but now, of course, most of you know on Twitter, Elon Musk is going to eliminate the block button, so we won't be able to block anybody anymore. So I'll just have to put a muzzle over my mouth and be a good mom, follow directions.
You know what?
Right through it.
No, you don't need to put a muzzle over it, because a lot of things really need to be said.
Yeah, I mean, I'll call people out. But out of respect for Nick, because he said, "Mom, stop responding to people on social media." He goes, "I'm going to delete you. I'm going to block you if you don't stop doing that." So I won't be doing that this year.
Well, yeah, I have a tendency to be very straightforward and blunt, and my wife gets upset with me when I'm straightforward and blunt with the kids, even if it's on their birthday or something. And I say something that may not be the best timing, but I'm being straightforward and I'm not going to lie to you about it.
Well, I've always been that way too. You can ask any of my family members. I'm kind of the blunt one in the family, and Nick even tells me, "Mom, you're too blunt." I try to soften that a little bit, but as a single mom, you gotta go to bat a lot for your kids, and it kind of toughens you up. So that's who I am.
So does
And
anybody else have a question?
if I can pipe in on the mom thing, I'm always going to the mattresses for my sons, and good for you doing that, because for people to say things like that about your child, it's ridiculous. It's a game. Oh, he missed a tackle. Oh, big deal.
Well,
That is, to say that degree of things, that's horrible. And I can't imagine what you've dealt with listening to people talk about your child like that.
Thanks, Pamela. I appreciate that. And you know what? You're absolutely right. But I also understand how passionate sports fans are, because I'm a passionate sports fan. I mean, unfortunately I've damaged my vocal cords recently from screaming at football games for the last 4 years, so I have to live with that. But I'm a very, very passionate sports fan, and I get it. I understand people have their team. That's what they live for. I mean, I'm looking at the flags in the background of, look at Dolphin winners. I love your background flags. I have my whole office is all Dolphins behind my desk, and I get that, but there's just an element of cruelty and evilness. It almost becomes like they can't control their mouth. So thank you for agreeing.
Well,
You're welcome. And there's a freedom of people sitting behind a screen to say things. Like, I don't get it how people are so brazen to say things like that. They would never want that coming at their child. And good for you sticking up for your kid. And
Thank you.
I mean,
These are our
So
children.
reason because nobody
that's right.
punches their mouth anymore.
Right, that's exactly.
That's
See,
right.
what it is you're right, John, and I can sit there and piggyback off of what everybody have said. What's happened is with social media, people are so easily to sit there and say whatever they think they can get away with, that because they know that they'll never be seen by this person on the other end, and that is what is wrong. See, everybody wants to sit there and say what they want to say, but eventually you're going to be seen, and people don't understand that.
Have any of you seen that one video that's going around social media, though? And I wish that this would actually happen. There's a kind of a funny video where they knock at somebody's door and they say, "Are you, say for instance, your Dolphin winners? Is that your screen name for?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." He goes, "You were just challenging this. It's a football player or somebody." He goes, "You said you could kick his ass with one hand tied behind your back." Well, we brought him here. We'd like to see that. I love that video because it's
That's amazing.
perfect.
well,
I wish they'd do it. Let's start that. Let's do it.
Yeah.
the people we have in this group and at East 12 where we tailgate, as well as in a lot of our fan clubs, we consider everyone family. We are not. There are some out there, and unfortunately, we can't control them. But we are family that's here with you right now and stuff. And
Awesome.
yeah, if you need anything, you can always reach out to us as well.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's exactly why I opened up the West Coast Florida Dolphins fan club, but I am disabled. When I was born, I was actually registered in the Children's Crippled Society. But I've made it through that. But I've been legally disabled for almost 4 years now, I think it is, and it drove me nuts the first few years. The club itself, we have over 800 members in our club right now, and it hasn't even been a year since I started it. And it's helped me. The club itself has helped me. The talk show has helped me. It's all helped me, but I wanted to help others. So that's why I started the WCFL Helping Hands Incorporated, and which will be helping DCC, polycystic kidney disease research, and our communities all over, not just in the state of Florida, wherever any of us live. If we can help a neighbor with something, we're going to reach out to our other Dolphin fans to try and get them help.
Yeah, and by the way, I joined this year. I'm going to do the bike ride. I'm going to do the DCC. I'm so excited.
Well, I am too. I'll look forward to seeing you there. John will be there.
Yep.
All right.
Good for you. And I got to give you applause as well for going through a thing with addiction and then talking about it. I personally have lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, and I have a warehouse full of drugs that I can take. And fortunately, I haven't had that problem, but I know how quickly I could be just like a lot of people. And good for you talking about it, helping other people to realize it could happen to them and being there for them. That is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not ashamed. It's part of who I am. It's part of the reason why I want to help others. I'm able to help others now because I've experienced it and know that there's hope.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, that's the helping hands. But I want everybody to start helping people. More people need help. You know, talking about it is a big relief as well. You can't keep it all bottled up.
100%, Papa Paul, 100%.
Oh, thank you.
I'll tell you this. One of the other things that we do, this is a physical thing that we do as well. I'm recently divorced, and the only thing I asked for in my divorce was a golf cart that was given to me, the super tricked out golf cart that I got 2 years ago for my birthday. And in San Clemente, a lot of people drive golf carts around, but we have a huge homeless community here. So my sister, Stacy, and we take the golf cart about 3 nights a week, and we've gotten so many donations. We've been able to go out and feed the homeless around here. So it's been really great. Get to talk to them, get to pray with them. Really, really a great experience. And it's something that I know that Nick loves too. I actually, when he was younger, I would take him to the shelters and we would actually serve food so that I wanted him to see how much the people appreciate others doing good things for them. And I also wanted him to appreciate what he had. So he comes from a very grounded background. I can guarantee you that.
Well, if he ever is into the point where he's going to go out and do something in the Miami area or somewhere, and he wants some help, you can let me know and I'll get a team together. We'll go help him.
Oh, you bet. That's so great to hear. Yeah, I know with everything that's been going on with him, with his Achilles and training, and he even flew somewhere last week. I think he got a special shot and saw a specialist. He's just been so focused on, what's happening right now. But I know he's going to be wanting to do some things coming up soon. And on his off time, outside of games and practice, which I don't know how familiar all of you are with how hard these guys work. They start early in the morning and he doesn't get home till about 8:30 at night. And then when he gets home, and I know all the players do this, they get on film and they watch it for another hour to 2 hours. I mean, this is every day of the week. I've stayed with him, so I've witnessed him doing this. I'm like, hey, let's go out.
I know. We talked about that. Yeah. And you're fixing him dinner at 9 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah,
later and stuff. And yes,
spinach and his spinach and his ground bison. That's what he loves. And
there's nothing wrong with that. And I mean, they do work hard. They work very hard for what they're doing and stuff.
We're gonna have an amazing team this year. Amazing! I'm so excited. You guys excited?
We are too. Oh yeah, we are very excited.
I've got 40 people going with me to the Dolphins, the Chargers game out here in LA. So
John will be there.
Tom will be there.
Tom and John.
Oh, nice.
And Ethan.
No,
Nah,
Ethan
you
won't
can't
be
go,
going.
man.
See y'all there. Got a
Oh,
big party bus. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lot of family and friends. So
Where are you
we'll
tailgating at?
I'm not sure. We're excuse me taking a
Well,
party bus limo up, and I think we're going to get there early enough to go to a tailgate or two. So
We're
you,
gonna
not
be,
sure.
I believe it's the pink lot. Is that what it is, Tom? Pink?
The
Pink,
pink
I
one, I think, is what it was last year.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
cool. We'll all be at the pink lot. There's a bunch coming from Florida. Tom and I are both from Jersey.
Jersey.
Shannon, you know Holly Monahan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's going to be out there with Maria, Maria set
Oh yeah.
a lot of it up. So they'll be
I
out there.
talk to Holly regularly. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be about 40 of them or so out there and stuff. And
So cool.
yes.
Yeah, I can't wait. And I think Justin and Joy are coming out too. Finn Sticky, you guys
No,
might
I
know him.
don't think Stick.
I don't know.
I think
He's not coming
I
out
just-
to California?
I don't believe. I know originally he wanted to, but something happened, and
Yeah, he had.
he went back to running his own company. So I don't believe he's coming. I could be
Oh,
wrong.
you know what? That may be me. I just didn't hear what his status was, but I'm going to be with them for the opening game at Hard Rock. So it'll be fun to be
we'll
there.
I'll be there for that too.
I'll be at all home games. So
Awesome. Well, I will too. See you guys there.
Come to eat and go.
I am going.
My company doesn't know that yet, but they'll be okay with it.
But I'm going up to Jacksonville on Saturday, and I'll be sitting right behind the Miami bench on Saturday.
Oh, very cool. That'll be
So,
awesome.
I'll be there week 2 in Gillette Stadium. I'll be here in Philly. When they come to Philly, I'll be flying the flag in Philly. Definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Very cool. Well, good deal.
Does
And
anybody
Black
have any
Friday.
questions for Shannon?
An open book. Don't tell Nick that, but I am.
I couldn't tell at all. I couldn't tell you were an open book. Not at all.
Thanks, Pamela.
And you can see why he's so humble now with how you are.
Right.
Aw,
Every time I
Thank
met
you.
him,
Yeah,
he's like outgoing,
so sweet.
keeps, like, you know what I mean? He'll go out of his way to like take care of people just to like see that smile out of him.
Oh, thank you so much. So nice to hear.
Yeah,
I love to hear that.
Well, I mean, it's like I tell people, I love making people smile these days. I go up to, there was one time my wife and I was at Publix shopping, and there was an elderly lady and an elderly gentleman. And they came by us as we're loading up the car. And I said, "Excuse me, in case you haven't been told lately, you're beautiful." Or I said, "In case your significant other hasn't told you lately, you're beautiful." And the guy looks at me, "This is my mom." She was 96. She was
Aw.
96 though. And she just kind of laughed at me. But I do it all the time because it's just to try and make people smile. You see someone with a frown on their face, you know, you're beautiful. I hope you have a wonderful day. And it makes them
Doesn't take
smile.
much. Yeah.
And
doesn't
what does
take
it
much.
cost you? It costs you absolutely nothing,
Nothing.
right? It's
Mhm.
free.
Well, I can tell you this. I can tell you this about Nick too. He is a great sportsman and a great teammate. So encouraging. You'll probably see him out there. If you ever watch the games, he's always out there patting people on the back or helping them up off the ground, even if he's all the way on the other side of the field. That's just how he is as a human being. I mean, and when I went through rough times, and it was just he and I, because he was little growing up. I had 2 brain surgeries. I had complete spinal reconstruction. I've got rods that go all the way through my back. I had a double knee replacement a couple years ago. He has always been the one to say, "Mom, you can do this. This is nothing for you. You got this. You got this." He always
Well,
says that. Keep going. Keep going. And that's the kind of guy he is.
Really could never tell you went through all that with the way you look and
Aw,
stuff.
yeah, it's all there. I get stopped through TSA all the time. They buy 'em now.
I understand that. Yeah, I have a full hip replacement. I got screws in the ankle and screws and rods in the back. So,
It makes us stronger. And again, it brings back to the thing. It makes you want to help other people that don't even, I mean, I've got a little niece. Some of you may have heard about her, Lily Needham. It's my brother's daughter. She had an accident 11 years ago, and she went into cardiac arrest. And when she was 9 and went without oxygen. Well, to this day, it's been 11 years. She can't speak and she cannot walk, talk, nothing. So she's in a bed. She understands everything that you can say. She'll smile and she can laugh, but she can't speak. So she's 20 now. And we're just really thankful that she's still here alive. But it just really makes me appreciate. I have nothing to complain about. Neither does Nick. He says the same thing. She's his inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. Now, does he travel to the games with them, or is he?
Normally he does. Last week he didn't. He had the choice to go out to Houston, and they said, "Do you want to go to Houston and just stand there for the whole game, or do you want to continue training and getting more treatment?" And he said he wanted to stay back and get treatment because it's getting closer to game time. See the opening season. He just wants to get the max, and they do too. So he gets treatment every single morning. He's in the gym. He's out doing footwork. Probably some of you who were at the training camp a couple weeks ago may have seen him out there doing his backpedaling and all that. So he's in really great shape.
Yeah,
he's going to be fine.
I saw him that Saturday, that last Saturday that they had the open training. I wasn't there for the joint training and stuff. Maybe he'll be at the game Saturday. If so, Could be. I bet you he will be for this. I don't know yet. I don't know what his plan is, but most likely. So at this point, we usually start talking about Miami Dolphins football. What's going on and stuff. If you want to stay in and stay here,
guys, I may cut out. I'm sorry to do that, but I'm at my parents' house. They invited me over for dinner.
I understand that, and that's why I'm saying all that stuff. So.
But trust me, I'll be back. So I'd love to talk to y'all. Thank
you
for
welcome.
having me.
You're definitely welcome here at any time. It's an honor to have you on. Definitely.
Thank you so much. Okay, you guys.
It's an honor, Shannon.
Nice
to meet you.
We're here every Wednesday, the same time every Wednesday.
Okay, good to know.
And occasionally we do some special shows here and there.
Okay, sounds great. Well, thanks again, everybody. Fins up.
Fins up.
Get these guys this weekend. Yeah.
You have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. That was great. What's going on, everybody?
What's up?
What up?
Yo, welcome back, brother.
I appreciate
it.
Shit.
Our long lost child is back.
I know, man. We missed you so much.
Missed y'all too, for sure.
Oh yes.
Cool.
It's busy. It's really busy.
Everyone really is on the JT watch.
It'll pay off. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm ready to be done. I ain't got much time left, so I'm ready.
All right. Keep your eyes on the prize, man. Keep your eyes on the prize. That's what it comes down to.
What do you get your degree in, Ethan?
I'm going to be a history teacher.
Nice.
I'll be coaching baseball and being a history teacher.
History is so underrated these days.
American, or you want to go world?
American.
Yeah, I'm American too.
I mean, I'm glad to hear that because history, there's not enough of it really taught these days.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, teachers are only allowed to teach the curriculum that they're told that gets put in front of them. They don't get to teach
everything. That today in class. We discussed that today.
No, I understand that, but it's a shame. But it's nice seeing a younger generation still wanting to know American history and be able to pass it on.
Absolutely.
But we are on the JT watch for a few days now.
Oh, stop.
Really?
Well,
really?
We'll
you think?
Well, the Eagles have made an offer.
Oh, man. I heard that today, and I'm telling you guys this. If the Philadelphia Eagles grab him, it's going to be a problem for the whole fucking league.
And it said they're very aggressive to get him, too. It's not just they're aggressive.
The problem is they have the money and they have the picks.
Exactly.
The Eagles
best offensive line in the league.
The Eagles have offered a second, a fourth, and Swift.
Oh, wow.
What? I'm surprised
I didn't know they offered Swift.
Yes.
You want to pair them and then have Gainwell as their three, the scat back. I mean, Sermon's probably four.
That's what I've heard.
I mean,
I think they want. I heard they want first round picks. That's what I've been hearing, though. That's what Indy wants.
Something that equates to it.
They want a first round pick or something that equates to a first round pick.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a lot of that going on. There's talk about Wilkins. there's talk about Miami wants to be. There's talk that Miami. What's the reporter's name? I don't know, but there's talk that Miami's going to be very aggressive.
I read it could be like Agba, Cedric Wilson could be in it, and then I read Jeff Wilson was in one of them, and I was like, I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
You can also look at actually because there was an article about Jonathan Taylor, but it went into Wilkins. And hello, Mr. Polk out there. Thank you, Saul. It went into Wilkins and stuff. So if you read in between the lines, they're saying, that Miami is going to be extremely aggressive for Jonathan Taylor, and they haven't come to an agreement with Wilkins because of the lack of sacks. Now, if you read in between the lines, it could be the way he's writing it is that if Miami is going to be aggressive, they're going to be throwing Wilkins in as part of a trade. And people are like, now before you say something, people are like, well, they don't need a DT. Well, yes and no. They have a DT that's a great DT, but he's on the older side, where Wilkins is still on the younger side.
I read a very heated argument on Twitter today about trading Wilkins into the Jonathan Taylor stuff, and it was pretty heated.
But if they threw Wilkins over along with like Gaskins, or Wilkins, Gaskins, and Cedric Wilson, because Gaskins is on his way out of Miami as it is. We all see that coming. Cedric Wilson hasn't been worth what we've been paying him. They might jump on something like that. We don't know.
I mean, the money works if they do Agba. It gets them off $16 million next year. It's kind of what Taylor wants, but there's no chance in hell that Miami should ever be paying Jonathan Taylor $16 million. I'm sorry.
Nope, not coming off an injury year.
100%.
He can get maybe the 10 at the most. Like that's what Barkley's getting. I mean, Barkley's a free agent next year too.
Is he still on the PUP list as well? Is Taylor still on the PUP list?
Yeah, I think they're just holding him off.
They're just holding him off because of he doesn't want. He wants to be traded.
The only way I see. Go ahead, my bad, Paul.
No, as Tom was about to say, they don't want him risk getting injured before they trade him or anything.
The only way I can see Miami doing something, especially with the cap that we have, is doing something with incentives. And I know he's going to want something long term.
Yeah.
So
he's 26.
And you know what? If he wants something long term, he might not get a damn thing then. Because
giving him like a 4-year.
Yeah, something like a 4-year.
Right.
But you look at Dalvin Cook. He wanted something long term. He got a 2-year deal.
He didn't get it.
Dalvin Cook is a little older than him. That's the problem. Yeah. Dalvin Cook, no disrespect, but Dalvin Cook wasn't mentioning MVP.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is you don't always get what you want.
True. I mean, we all know that. Yeah. But I'll be honest with you, no disrespect to Dalvin Cook, but you put Jonathan Taylor in his offense, I'm telling you, it's already dynamic as is. You put Jonathan Taylor with this offense, who are you stopping?
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing with you on that. I'm not arguing
like real rap. So I mean, I'm gonna say the same. I'm gonna say the same thing. Like I said, Dalvin Cook. If we can get him, cool. If we can't get him, I'm confident in the running back committee that we have right now.
Right. Yep.
Thank you. 100% agree with it.
And I feel the same way, Saul.
Is JT going to be happy with 10 carries or less a game? That remains to be seen. Because they're going to mix in at least 10 for Mostert, maybe 5 to 7 for Wilson. We can run the ball 25 times a game. Have these
I'll be honest. Tom, I'll be honest with you. I think McDaniel might have heard some of us talk about last year how he got away from the run, and he actually might bring a balanced attack. And I'll be honest with you. So if you're going to bring a balanced attack, and you bring a man that
Miss Maria's out there watching. I'm sorry.
Hey, Maria. If you sit there and do a balanced attack, man, listen, I'm going to tell you honestly, sky's the limit with this team. I really believe
50 times a game.
Yeah. Like, sky's the limit. I'll be honest with you. The first 4 weeks is going to tell a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah.
No. The Chargers game, I think we all agree the Chargers game must be a statement game, right from the door.
Yep.
Right from the door.
There she is.
Hey,
what's up,
Maria?
Hey, Mama Maria.
Hey guys.
You miss Shannon.
I
Waddle
missed
days
her.
away.
Yeah.
I was hoping I was going to catch her.
No, she was on for a good half hour or a little more. She's actually at her parents' house having dinner and spending the night over there tonight and stuff. So
Uh-huh.
she got on. We talked about a lot about Nick Needham, about her and Nick Needham's foundation and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So it was a good. I mean, you'll have to go back and watch the recording and stuff, but it was good. She was, as she said, an open book, and she very much is.
Yeah, she's a really sweet woman.
She's a sweet, wonderful woman, and her son is too. He's a great guy. You know.
Hey, Papa Paul, I'm going to hop out and come back in. I'm having a hard time hearing everybody. Once I got out of my truck, that everything disconnected and I can't hear good. So I'm going to come back in.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. So, what else we got to talk about there, Saul?
All right, so we got that. We have to talk about Mike White on concussion protocol. We have to talk about the injuries that were sustained in the game last week. We have to talk about that. O-lineman, we had an O-lineman that was injured also, correct?
If you're talking,
that are dinged up and
you're talking about Armstead?
no, Armstead didn't play last week.
No, Armstead, it wasn't Armstead.
Robert Jones.
Yeah, Robert Jones.
Yes, everybody.
4 to 6 weeks.
Him and Salbert. So Salbert's gonna miss some time too.
Yeah.
And you know, they're going to go out and sign. They got plenty of time still to sign people, figure out what they need, and if they
You'll see
want
other
to
teams
win,
cutting guys.
trust me. My wife wants us to win a Super Bowl because she wants to cut my hair. Because I told her last year when the season started that I wasn't cutting my hair until the Dolphins win a Super Bowl.
Oh, geez.
Does someone have a bird chirping in the background?
We can't hear
That's
you.
Tom with the crickets. Somebody,
You hear them?
Tom with the crickets.
You hear them?
Pamela, your mute's on, Pamela. Pamela, your mute's on. There
Oh,
you go.
okay, thanks. Yeah, I was going to say it's crickets. I heard crickets. Tom,
crickets
Tom must be outside.
Because my internet's so bad in my neighborhood, as soon as I go in the house, it starts getting a little choppy and stuff. I'll be frozen. So,
Well,
I
the
know I gotta
crickets are
suffer.
a nice background. There's nothing wrong with crickets.
It's better.
They scare the hell out of me. All bugs.
Things are huge, man. Shit.
Any bug, it doesn't matter.
Ooh.
Any bugs, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well,
The last couple of days,
let
my
me
cat's
tell
been getting a cicada and having him in his mouth. He doesn't want to eat it. Got a big ass cicada in his mouth, and then he's trying to get in the back door. And I'm like, nah. And he's like, look at the wings are hanging out. And I'm like, dude, no, you got to drop it. So he'll like drop it and hide it and then run in and then like try to run back out to get it. Like, dude, you're not bringing that in the house. No, I'm not picking it up. Brutal.
He's like, I found a new toy.
I'd rather listen to crickets than everybody yelling over each other.
Oh, 1,000%, Papa Paul.
Yeah.
1,000%. Crickets are cute. When I first came on, I'm like, I hear crickets. it was kind of funny.
But
I mean,
they're very good fishing bait also.
I need this thing because I'm getting killed out here. Like, mosquitoes love to eat the hell out of me, and I start breaking out in hives. It's awful.
and why don't the crickets eat mosquitoes? I mean, come on, they got to do something.
Help me help you. You can live if you help me out.
That's
The bats will eat mosquitoes.
I'm okay. I don't want no bats, bro. I'm okay. That's different. I'm all right. You're talking
I live like right where like a park is, and there's like pathways, and they have like these big bat boxes because I guess we're encroaching on their ecosystem. So it's like a big slate where they go in.
We have bat houses all around different parks in Florida and stuff, and it's for the mosquitoes, really.
Yeah.
The mosquito hawks.
Don't worry, Saul. They're not vampire bats.
I know they ain't vampire bats, but I watch too much National Geographic, Paul.
They just want a little kiss.
I've educated myself in every part of the country and the world, so I'm ready. If I see some shit I'm not used to, I'm out.
You need to, Dolphin winners, you need to go look at my Facebook page because I posted this video of this girl that said she moved to Florida. And when I'm talking about freaking out, crying, like tears, just freaking out because a lizard was in her house. I'm thinking you better move out of Florida because there are lizards everywhere. And they're so cute. They're so cute.
I will never forget, Pam. I was down in Florida like almost 20 plus years ago, and I never forget being in jacuzzi outside. And it was geckos running all over the place. And it was the first time I've ever, and they were glowing in the dark. So it was the first time I've ever seen. I'm a city cat. I don't know nothing. So when I'm sitting there looking, what are these things? And I'm like, wow. And she's like, oh, they want.
Are you sure you're not on mute?
Today, my husband is driving down North Lake, which is one of the main roads coming to my house. And he's just driving, and as he's driving nonchalantly, the 3-foot gator just walking across the street. He's like, what the fuck? Literally,
Florida, right?
Gator walking. John, he was actually just passing where you make the turn to go to Steph's house.
Oh, really?
North Lake. It was walking right across the road.
Wow.
Could have ran over his head, chopped him up, and took him home.
Oh, no. Made a belt and had sushi. I got you. Made a belt and had sushi.
Oh, dinner.
I'll give you a good story now. I was doing construction for a housing company for a while, and I was known as the trapper because I was killing pygmy rattlers, getting rid of snakes. We were in the construction of the community pool. I had to go walk around in knee to thigh deep water to get an alligator out of the pool and stuff. And got him out. Well, these guys called me over a house. There's a snake in the house. Okay, where's it? It's in the laundry room. They wouldn't go near the laundry room. I go in there, lifting up the washer, lifting up the dryer. I don't see anything. It's not. It must have left or something. You sure? It's not. There's nothing there. I get out the front door. It's there. We just saw it. I go back in there. I lift up the stuff again. The damn thing was the size of a worm. And these construction guys, big burly construction guys, I'm holding it in my hand, coming out of the laundry room. They're jumping over the kitchen counter to get away from me, from a little worm. Oh, I was dying laughing.
You would have been laughing at my ass because that would have been me. I'm sorry.
That's so funny.
It was no longer than that. I swear.
I don't give a shit, Paul. No.
Yes, fuck that.
I'll save you. It's okay. I'll go get the worm. It's okay.
I appreciate you. I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Nope.
Nope.
No,
Lizards, I mean, my grandkids take them, and my sons used to do it too. You put them, they bite your ear, and they wear them like earrings.
yeah.
I mean, that was just like a fun thing you did with lizards.
Good evening, Mr. Polk.
Hey, Mr. Polk.
Good evening. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
We're in Dolphin Nation 305 in the house. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going? Papa Paul, Dolphin Winters, Ethan, Maria, Tom, John, Miss Pamela. A pleasure.
How are you?
How's everybody doing?
Hey, brother.
Lewis, if you're still out there, I did throw the link out there, Lewis.
So come on, bring your ass on here, Lewis.
So he was saying Lewis was saying earlier, I'm hearing some chatter about Taylor. Dolphins fans, we are making a strong push right now. He said. So.
Come on the stream. Come on the stream, Lewis, if you can. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you.
But
I would like to pick back on what somebody was saying. Down here in Miami, talking about lizards, iguanas, they are plentiful down here. It's plentiful. Any kind of lizard you want to see, come down here in Miami. Redhead, yellowheads. I mean, they just plentiful down here.
Yep.
We
And I
need to
mean,
just go
it's
on an
crazy.
iguana. We need to go on an iguana hunt and have some smoked iguana.
Needs more
Oh,
garlic.
well, you come down here, you'll find
That's a
plenty of them.
classic line from a classic movie. I don't know who got it, but needs
I
more
did.
garlic.
Well, like I said, I'm coming down in January, so I'm coming down to get some alligators. So in January, when I come down for the Buffalo game, I'm getting my buffalo wings first, and then I'm gonna get some alligator.
Oh,
Gator tail.
Uh,
Little fried gator bites. Yep.
it's so good.
Last year at the home Buffalo game, I had buffalo meatballs, but I
Mm.
made a buffalo size. And
They were buffalo balls.
Buffalo
Balls.
balls.
I'm okay on that. No, I don't want no.
no, it was ground. It was ground buffalo. Saul. It's too expensive to buy the real stuff.
Hey, listen.
Winner, to expand your menu a little.
You need to expand your palate.
Yes, I have, but I'm okay. Thank you. I'm okay.
Sushi at least.
Trust me.
PB&J for everybody.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
funny.
Yeah,
I could tell you about the the buffalo. Like if you haven't had that kind of meat, the elk, the bison, all that kind of stuff, it is really good. And around here, so duck bombers. My husband's a duck hunter, and he makes duck bombers, and they're duck breast with a bell pepper and an onion, and you soak them in Italian dressing and then grill them.
Mhm.
The duck bombers disappear.
Mm.
Sounds good.
Now I don't eat them because we have ducks.
Right.
Well, you don't eat them.
you don't know what you have.
Nobody dies here. Nobody dies here. Everybody is good to go.
Okay.
Well,
Don't eat the one. It's the one
Duck.
you eat.
you got to cook duck for a little bit because it's really greasy, right?
Very greasy. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you do the
It's
Italian
not if
dressing.
you actually or soak it in buttermilk
Yeah,
Correct.
before you cook it.
a marinade. Yep.
Mhm.
Hey, Miss Liz. There's Miss Liz out there.
Hi, Miss Liz.
Everybody,
Hey,
we got
Coach Miss
about
Liz.
8 people watching. Hit that like button, everybody, please.
We got more than that. I'm showing 8 people in YouTube. Please hit like and subscribe, and we got another couple more
Facebook,
on
definitely.
Facebook and
Hit that thumb button. Hit that thumb button.
So I have a little video of a lizard. There was a little lizard. We'd go outside and I'd have like a glass of wine and it would have condensation on it. And this little lizard, every time he saw me, he'd run over and get up and drink the little drops of water off of my glass. And he would see me and he would come running. I mean, it's the cutest video. It's so cute. He's just a little guy, little size of a worm, right, Papa Paul?
that's it. That is it.
It's so cute.
So what else we got going on? What's going on with football these days, Tom? What have you been hearing on all the injuries, Tom?
He's coming back outside. He was inside.
My last few days have been an absolute whirlwind. I mean, if you saw earlier, I had to fold all those jerseys and stuff. It's only half of them.
You were out at the bar last night.
And then I was at the beach on Monday.
You were out at the bar last night and talking with Pedro.
Yeah, and then I left my phone there.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Yo.
Oh no.
I didn't realize that until about, 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh shit, I don't have my phone. So I had to go back this morning before work and get it, and then go right to work all day. Open the jersey box when I got back. But I mean, the injuries we heard, I don't know. I mean, what about players that like kind of stood out in that last preseason game?
Oh,
Salvan Ahmed looked amazing. You know, Chris
Ahmed,
Brooks looked good.
Brooks. Yes,
Barrios had a nice snag.
Thank you.
Barrios looked good.
Kendall Lamb, Isaiah Wynn looked great.
What's up, MCJB?
Let him know that you're.
Channing Tindall.
What's going
Yeah,
on,
Tindall.
Look at my phone with your phone. I was just watching YouTube.
It's just like
Yeah,
last
it's
year.
fine. What? He locked everything, and he's probably in bed. Somebody's got some feedback. I'm not sure.
No, Maria.
Maria's talking.
Oh.
Last year, when we started the first season of the game, we had, in one way or another, we had 18 players injured. Not
Every
out,
week.
but 18 players injured just starting the season.
Remember some of those injury reports? There were CVS receipts. They were just long. They had to keep adding columns and width and room. It was like the other team had like a little skinny section.
Yeah.
We had everybody.
So,
And we have
They
quite
said-
a few right now as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it seemed like this past game, there were several that got added. I think some of them weren't that bad, but still, you
I think
know.
they're just protecting a lot of them from themselves right now. Waddle, Wilson
Yeah,
Jr.
Waddle. Mm-hmm.
A chain. They said he dodged a bullet. That it's not that bad, but they want the league to kind of look into it because he got slammed twice, not once. It was like a full suplex, and say, look, I get it. He's small. He's gonna get thrown around, but he got thrown down and then landed on top of by a 330-pound lineman. That's kind of fucked up.
yeah, I don't have my hat on tonight, Thursday, because I was just
In the
traveling
bathroom?
today. And
And
Hey,
I tell you,
I'm about to get out of here. I got to get back to studying.
All right, Ethan. You have a good night.
Take care of
Join
yourself,
us,
bro.
brother.
Keep
I was
doing the
glad to be
grind.
back. I'll be back next week.
You don't need
Okay.
help issue. You let me know. I got you.
Go
Push
get
that
that.
Fins up, man.
Take care,
Thanks, y'all.
y'all.
Fins up.
Ends up.
fins
Fins
up.
up.
Hands up.
I think at
didn't
this
like
point,
that.
everybody's going to go. I think everybody's going to gun to hurt players
Yeah,
at this point
definitely.
because they know we're a team to be reckoned with this season. So they're
Yeah.
going to look to put us down before we even get on the field for our first game.
Sure.
And I've
But,
been saying that.
but what they just don't know is we got a better plan for all of that.
Oh, yeah.
None of our starters are playing the next game. I don't see none of our starters playing the next game.
No,
I
I
don't
don't want to
either.
see him playing.
Well,
I don't want to see him playing either.
They
I
said
definitely.
We can get a good look at some depth, though.
We're going
Lester
to be
Cotton.
seeing Skylar Thompson and James Blackman because they re-signed James Blackman since Mike White's out.
I wonder if they let
I didn't know Mike White was out. I mean,
Why
it's
is Mike White out now?
Concussion.
Concussion protocol.
Got a concussion.
from the preseason game.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, that's why
The
they
one
played one
play?
play.
Last game.
Yes, from the one play he was in. Yes.
Oh, wow. I mean,
I
is
would've
his,
played that
I
last
have not
quarter,
been
but-
able to watch the game because I had a party that I had to do, but I didn't know. And then
Oh,
like,
you
why
breaking up,
haven't
Miss
we-
Maria?
AMCJB, I just noticed you're on there.
Hey, bro.
so I didn't know that White was out now.
He was going to play the rest of that quarter, and then whenever he got popped.
You said what, Miss Pam?
I just said, hey, I just now noticed you were up there. I saw you in the chat, but I didn't, I'm out here.
How you doing?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, concussion protocol. Just the players said, just like with Waddle, they're playing it safe with Waddle as well. Even though his injury wasn't serious, they just being careful with their players.
Absolutely.
So I see that. I'm really, really hoping they take Skyler as QB2. I really am hoping that. Yeah, that's not close.
I know.
All right, I'm looking at the comments.
Yes.
I'm looking at the comments, and
Me
somebody
too.
Dolphins Thursday. Let's go. Let's get at it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
They joined late, and what is our take on Tua fighting back against Brian Clark's stupid comments?
I love that.
I loved it too.
It was excellent.
mean-
Salty 2 is the best Tua.
Keep your name out of your mouth.
Like, I think he's so tired of hearing
That
the
was
bullshit.
awesome.
His teammates are tired of it. You heard Chubb even said something. Chubb goes, "Damn, what do I have to do to get talked about like this guy? I've never seen someone talked about every single possible thing ever. Like,
That's right.
ever."
Going on 4 years, he's let everybody walk all over him with their friggin' comments.
And he's
Well,
not.
it's about time he told them to keep his name out of their mouths.
Well, here's the thing. And to make it even better, Maria, that makes it even better if he shows it and shuts everybody up. And if he does it on a consistent basis,
Well,
they
he
have
started
to
to
buy
show. He
You know?
started to shut everybody up last year until he
Right.
fucking went out with his concussion.
Well,
He was shutting everybody up last year.
But here's the thing. Now, this is the year that you just sit there when you host that trophy up in February. That shuts everybody up.
That shuts him up.
Mhm.
That's
It's
right.
a playoff game at home. Start with that. But
There you
So
go.
let's start off with winning the AFC East first and being number one in the AFC. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
host that home playoff
Yeah.
game.
And everybody stayed healthy.
Yeah,
Yep.
health is so
That
key.
too.
Just a
We're definitely
reasonable
deeper.
amount of healthiness, right? Just a reasonable amount. We know we're going to have some injuries, but just stay reasonably healthy. If we can catch a little break, any little break, we're going to be amazing.
Raphael, I don't think that chain
We
goes on
need that
PUP.
black cloud that's over us to turn aqua.
For real. For once.
Yes.
Did you also see that Ryan Clark doubled down on his comment? Basically, he didn't like double down on the comment per se, but he retweeted something from last December that was, I think that it's stupid that athletes are asked questions about what media or sports writers, sports broadcasters have to say about them after a practice. And it's like, he's like, yeah, I meant that then. I still mean it now. It's like, oh, well, why? Because you got caught with your foot in your mouth? Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
100%. And if you can dish it out, how come you can't take it?
Can't take it. Yep.
Right.
I mean,
well, why can't you play in Denver? Oh, that's right.
John
Sorry,
Featherland,
you want to talk shit?
just responding to John Featherland, that was not on today's practice. He got the concussion in the one play that he did in the preseason game last weekend.
well, and you knew it was something because they took him right out. So you knew it
Yeah.
was something. I just didn't realize it was a concussion.
Well, neither did I. I heard people saying it, but I never heard it from anybody on the news or
Right.
anything.
There was
I'm
nothing.
gonna be honest with both. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. So when I seen Skylar come out for the play where he was laying on the ground a little bit too long, and they took him out for the play for one play, they put Mike White in, and then when I seen Mike White get pulled out and then Skylar, I was like, okay, they might have just put him back in just because they just wanted him to sit for one play because he just was on the field too long. But then later on, when I found out that Mike White had a concussion, I'm like, well, damn, when did it happen?
Exactly. That's
Yeah, I think the plan was to let Skylar finish that game and then have Mike White start the third game, or Skylar could start the
Right.
third game. Mike White will take the last 3 quarters. I think that was the
Right.
plan. But yeah, didn't work out.
It
no,
it
not at
didn't.
all.
And it
Maybe a
didn't
Florida
look
State
like
kid.
anything, right? Like I was looking at that and I was thinking, well, that didn't look like anything. But
Correct.
then to find out it's a concussion,
I
that just goes to show you how easily that can happen.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
actually,
I haven't
I saw.
seen the game.
Go ahead, man. Go
Oh, you
ahead.
haven't seen it yet?
I haven't seen the game, and I have NFL Network on all day because of work, and it has said nothing about concussion protocol for White.
Yeah,
And
like
what I
symptoms or
don't
something.
understand is, my personal opinion, you know they're gunning for us. Every one of our QBs should have the same helmet on that Tua has on.
They do. I think that Mike
Yeah.
White does have a Vicus 2 on. It might have just been like underneath that he got hit from the face mask, not like on top of the head. It went underneath. It was more like a whiplash, is what I think.
Well, it's
So
only
they're all wearing the same helmet Tua is wearing?
I think Skylar has a speed flex, but 2 and Mike White both are wearing the Vicus. Vicus 2, I think it's called. It's got like the spotter. It's the same one that Mahomes wears.
Because
those
they
little
should
holes,
all.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that should
agree.
be mandatory for all QBs at this point with this concussion protocol. All
think
QBs
that's-
should have that helmet on.
I think that they're starting to look at the numbers, and the numbers, like, I know that they said it was what 1% higher protection rate versus another style of helmet. So I think they're going to look at it like as like a there's so many different quarterbacks that are wearing it this year that they're going to look next year and be like, all right, the numbers are Speed Flex versus Dickus versus whatever new thing they're going to make. They were talking about wearing the helmet condoms in real games, like the padded things they have, the guards, whatever they're called.
Well, they were talking about putting them inside the helmet.
Well, you
Right.
can't in the helmet; it'd be way too thick. The helmet would stick out way too far.
Right.
I would rather it stick out way too far than you wind up dead.
I mean, these might be flags because the league is just getting crazy with the things they're doing.
Well, but it's also very selective, so, you can't even look at a certain few quarterbacks. You look their way, oh, here comes the flags. But lay Tua out, slam him to the ground, do whatever you want, and there's no flag.
No
Very
flags.
selective in my book.
Never.
It's been. That's why I said we've got a black cloud over us that's got to turn aqua, because I just feel the refs and they gun for us because they know what they're reckoning with. We're not the same team we've been for the past 20 years.
I don't know.
We've had a lot of changes, and they're afraid.
Yeah,
And if Tua didn't get hurt last year, we would have been Super Bowl. If Tua didn't go down, we would have been Super Bowl. That's how I feel. Our record would have been very different.
Yeah, but even Tua said himself in the Green Bay game, he doesn't remember what he was doing.
He doesn't because of the concussion. That was the Christmas game. He didn't, and we all said it. We all saw it watching it. Can you please? That he was not. It was like he was on the field, but not on the field.
Yeah,
it's like vision was totally all over the place.
It was shocking watching that last.
It was sad.
6 picks all year. 3 came in 3 straight plays in the third and fourth quarter. Like, it's just not him.
Okay, he had no position on that ball. None. And I just feel they know the only way that we're not going to be contenders is to take him down. So we need to have a better friggin' O-line that better be protecting him.
Well,
I'm actually okay so far with the growth from Austin Jackson. So far, so good.
Yeah. Here's the scenario that every time you get this scenario, you know what's coming. So every single time we hold a team we're not supposed to beat, we hold them, then we go down, we come up, we score, we tie up the game, or we go up, 3 points or whatever it is, and the other team gets the ball, we hold them on 4th down, guess what comes out?
Penalties and flags.
A flag. You can count on it. You can take it to the bank.
Yep.
Make your bets now. Put it into Vegas.
Or,
the
refs
it's
will
coming.
just wait for Shanahan to decide to throw a challenge flag on 2 straight plays. Yeah. Oh, you need more time? Oh, okay.
Exactly.
But
are you even allowed to do that? No.
Jump on. I gotta be up early.
All right, John. You have a good night, brother.
John, fins up, buddy. Good to see you.
All right,
John,
John.
talk
Yeah,
to you
man.
later. Fits up.
Waddle days, John. 17. Let's go.
There you go. Waddle days. I like that.
Right? Is 17 today or tomorrow? Something like that.
Tomorrow.
17 for you guys, 24 for me.
Can't fucking wait, bro.
I can't wait. Oh, man.
It's longer than that for me.
And then
Before
I get a
you
nice
go
break
to a
between,
game?
though. My next one's Philly after that.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, my God.
I don't see an actual Dolphin game in person that's during the regular season.
Till week 3, right?
Till week 3.
Yeah.
It should be a damn good game, though.
I'm October 15th. That I actually will be at the field. The Panthers game, the Dolphin fan weekend. I'll be there. That's my first, and it'll be the only one, probably.
And that'll be the Zach Thomas ring day.
Wow.
I will be wearing my
Oh, wow.
VT.
That's the day
jersey.
Zach Thomas gets his ring.
Oh, wow.
Well, you got to look us up, Miss Pam. I'll be there.
Okay. You can't hardly miss me. I'm telling you, I'm loud and obnoxious. You can't miss me.
No, you're not.
I am. I'm telling you, I'm
I
so
would say
loud. Even in a stadium full of people screaming, I'm loud.
my neighbor
Well, you
hangs
have
me.
to come over to Eastville Tailgate.
I'll be right there. Let's see, where is the fan weekend will be? Where?
We're at East 32.
East 32. Yes.
Yes, it's the same row as ours.
Yes.
Keep going
East
closer to the
32
stadium.
is at the beginning of our row, and we're at the other end. So if you
I,
just walk down the row, you'll
I
hit
will
East
walk.
12.
I will walk down there. Trust me. Trust me. I will be there.
I'll find you. You can't miss me. I stand a head above everybody.
Well, I will be looking. I will definitely be looking. That's exciting. I can't wait. That'll be really exciting.
Definitely, guys. Like, I went up to Nazareth to visit our current
Allie.
2022 Fan of the Year, all Ali Star Goodman, and I surprised the hell out of her. She had no idea. There, I was up there with the Lehigh Valley Dolphins Club up there also as well. So they were really nice up there. The actual establishment is owned by a Dolphin fan. He'll be at the 50th Invasion, Tom. So we'll
Oh, nice.
we'll be able to meet him there. He actually designed they're actually designing actual beer bottle wrappers for that weekend for the 50th
That's
Invasion.
sick.
Oh, how cool.
So he showed me a sneak peek of that. the restaurant, the food was excellent. I would definitely go back. You know, it is a nice way. I mean, it's not that far, but it's about an hour and a half away from where I live. But it's literally, I go out my door, go up to Broad Street. Tom already knows. Go up Broad Street, take 611 straight out to 78. It's right there.
Oh
So,
yeah. Good old
And
B&O.
I love how we're just we're nationwide, right? Like as a Dolphin fan group, we're nationwide, we're worldwide. If you ever think like we're not that big in the rest of the world, you come on my stream and I'm telling you, you will see how many people are from Europe and Guam and Puerto Rico
Mexico.
and Mexico.
Thailand.
Yes, all over. We are very much loved in the rest of the world. Very popular.
yes.
Well, it's
I
funny
I
you
want to piggyback.
said that because we obviously were at Camden, and we literally, and I'm not saying it because it was us, but on the day of enshrinement, well, the Thursday night, we were on the field, and we had a patio there, and we shared it with the Browns. But then on enshrinement day, we were on another patio on the opposite end of the field, and a lot of the alumni wound up showing up at the patio, and they're like, "We're partying up here with you guys." And when when you turned around and you looked, there was more aqua in that stadium than there was any other color. And when we were coming home, there was a woman from Dallas that was getting on our flight, and she literally stopped Holly and I, and she literally said to us, "I have to say, you guys definitely presented, because if there was any other color in that stadium, it was aqua and orange. You overpopulated that stadium."
Yeah.
She says, "I would have to say you were 80% of that stadium." And she was right. If you looked around, it was aqua and orange. It was amazing. Yeah. And there was people from everywhere. Martin was from the UK. We had UK there. We had Mexico there. It was amazing. It was definitely a weekend that I will never, ever, ever forget.
Maria, that's the most
It was
beautiful
pretty awesome.
thing. I watched that whole weekend and looked through it from Facebook and watching the ceremony and to see all you guys out there. That makes me proud personally. It's just if that doesn't warm your heart, if that doesn't sit there and get you hyped to sit there and realize you will see Dolphin fans anywhere and everywhere, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Something is really wrong. Seriously.
We had on
I,
Saturday morning, Sean Wooden showed up to our patio, and he's like, "I'm coming up here." He says, "I don't want to be down there." He says, "I want to be up here." He literally went down, and you can ask Don this. He went down. He brought up Webb. We had Nat Moore with us. We had Joe Rose was up there with us. There was probably a good 10, 11 alumni that wound up on our patio where they had front row. They were up with us. Everybody that was walking by is like, "Oh, I want to be part of this." And next thing you knew, we were supposed to have 40, 50 people on the patio. If we didn't have 200, we didn't have one. It was crazy. It was just the most amazing thing. So we made the Jumbotron, we made the news, we made the paper. It was sick. It was the best weekend of my life. The next best weekend is going to be Super Bowl weekend.
There you go.
That's going to be the next best weekend.
Well, wait. Let's start off first.
Yeah.
When you guys have opening weekend down at the Hard Rock, y'all gotta have a drink for me because I know I won't be there. Because I'm gonna be celebrating week 2 when I get to run through Gillette Stadium and scream in the Miami Dolphin theme song after we whoop the Patriots' ass and New England. Then y'all can sit there and whoop Denver the next week and keep this thing going. So that's how we got to do it first and foremost. You know what I mean?
It was funny. My daughter's Sweet 16 was this weekend, and she does her 16 candles, and I didn't know who her candles were. I told her that was her business. I wanted nothing to do with it. And when she did her last candle and called up the Miami Dolphins East 12, I cried. And the whole room broke out with the fight song.
Wow.
I was like, wow. So it was pretty special. So it was pretty special. So, but it's going to be a great season.
Coming up ahead of me. I'm going to call it. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good night.
Tom, have a good one, brother.
Good night, Tom.
Fizz up, Tom.
Stay strong. Don't let the crickets get you.
Thank you.
Well, the mosquitoes.
How's everyone doing? Go ahead, Mr.
Go ahead, Papa Paul.
No, you got the floor, Mr. Paul.
No, I just wanted to say that I think in some cases our fan base don't realize how very popular we are across, all over the world.
Yeah.
And I think if they did, our fan base could get along even better. But I mean, we're worldwide and growing. We're not how should I put it? We're not stagnant as far as our fan base is growing. We are continuously growing and being more popular than the other 31 teams. That's my opinion.
No, we are, and especially like I said, like in Europe, when you watch when the NFL plays a game in Europe, I don't care what team is on the field, you will see Dolphin jerseys all throughout the stadium. And I've asked a lot of European fans, how did you become a Dolphin fan? And a lot of them became Dan Marino fans first. Mm-hmm. And then that carried down their history of being a Dolphin fan.
Yeah.
I don't care how they became a fan, as long as they stay a fan because they're with the best fan base and the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Win or lose, because I have to say, we are and I've seen it firsthand. We are the most respectful fan base in the NFL.
Mhm.
We truly,
Yeah.
truly, we can go into any stadium. You won't hear us booing. If I lose you, it's because my battery is about to die. You won't hear us booing. We are very respectful. We are a very respectful fan base, and we take pride in that. And that's what's important.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what's
and
important.
if you go to our stadium, how many times have we been the minority in our own stadium? And other teams, fans
Yep,
come in there and they have no problem being disrespectful. And I mean really disrespectful.
yep,
But I don't see it
yep.
the other. I still have like a dream of going to, a Jester's game and, giving it back to him a little bit.
We
I
went
want to
to
give
the
it back to
Jets
him.
game. We were at MetLife Takeover last year, and even though we were losing, we weren't disrespectful.
Right.
We
Because
were
that's
not
just not.
disrespectful. It's not us. It's not us as a fan base. It's not. When we did the Dolphins cruise in April and everything was going so wrong, I literally said to the guy running it, because I was upset. And I said to him, I gotta tell you, you're very lucky this is not a Buffalo Bills cruise. Because if it was, you'd be swimming with the Dolphins.
That's right.
He would have been
Swimming
overboard.
with the fishes.
Yep, he would have been swimming because the Buffalo Bills wouldn't have taken the garbage and the shit that we took. But we did it, and we did it respectfully, and our alumni stepped up to the plate. And they did what they needed to do to make our cruise what it was.
Nice.
I'm going to lose you guys. So before I lose you guys, fins up, and I got to go in because I am so sick.
My friends, Marie, appreciate you.
Feel
Have a good
better.
night.
Feel better, Maria.
Have a blessed night.
Yes, sir. Okay. Anything else we want to talk about?
So I see Dolphins Thirsty talking about, do we want Jonathan Taylor and what would be willing to give up? I have Dolphin Winner's exact take, which is if we get him and we can pay him something reasonable, good. I don't want to give up Christian Wilkins. I want to become a dynasty with great players that we draft. We got, everybody says we got to build through the draft. Well, we did. So let's not cut ourselves off at the knees.
I agree.
I'm like, if we get him, we get him. If we don't, we don't. I'm not believing anything I hear as it is. As my philosophy has always been, I don't believe anything I hear and only half of what I see, because you don't know who's telling the truth, who's lying, and the sleight of hand tricks can be done very well in front of you as well, and you don't know what's going on.
Smoke and mirrors, Papa Paul. Smoke and mirrors. Yeah. Agreed.
And with the talent that we have on our team as a present, I think we can make to the playoffs or even further. So whether we get Jonathan Taylor or not, we still have a very talented team, and you got two head coaches. I mean, you bring Fangio into the Dolphins, into the Dolphin family. Now you talk about practically two head coaches. So I think McDaniel will, and any problems that come up, they're going to address them. So
Great point, Mr. Paul.
Yeah.
Great point.
I agree with you 100% on that, Mr. Paul. Yes, I think we might have mentioned that one time before. It's like having a second head coach there, and if there's something going on, I'm sure Fangio is going to say something to Mike, but he's not going to try and overrun him either. He knows his place, but he's going to point things out, I'm sure, because Mike is the young buck trying to learn things still.
And I would think there's some communication of like, hey, let me know. Tell me what you think, and of course, McDaniels gets to make the decisions. But, if you're a smart person, you listen to people that know stuff. You don't have people around you that are talented and then not pay attention to what they say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just looking at some articles. I seen one article earlier that they're right now it's looking like Kader Kohu is going to be our number 2 cornerback right now, but Cam Smith is still liable to be ready for week 1 as well.
Nice.
So
I wouldn't rush Cam. I wouldn't rush Cam back. I'm sorry, I just wouldn't. You signed.
Yeah.
You signed. Didn't we sign? We signed a corner last week. Didn't we?
Actually.
Yes, that's right. We sure did.
But Eli Apple had a very good day Tuesday, from what I gathered.
Apple.
But here's the thing, though, Paul. Let's keep it 100 being. We know what Eli Apple is able to do and what he's not able to do. And I will tell you this: he's in a man-on-man situation. The system is a man-on-man. It's a hat on a hat. Eli Apple is known to give up the big play. We all know this.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying though is he stopped Tyreek Hill from getting a catch on Tuesday.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to bring up. Is he made a good play there against our number 1 receiver.
I'm like this. We gotta see consistency during the season, because we've seen, and Pam is shaking her head because Pam knows. We all watch football. We all say and watch football. We know what Eli Apple can do, and we know what Eli Apple has done.
It's just like John says. We got to wait and see. And it's like I always say, though, there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts.
Well, and also let's look at what our defensive coaches can do with an Eli Apple.
Absolutely.
So this is a whole nother thing for him as well. That young man has got, Fangio to learn from, and, on through with Sam and, our different our different defensive coaches. So let's see what they can do with him. Because sometimes it literally just takes somebody, one person to make you get it, like see something differently. And I saw some changes in the angles that some guys were taking early on in this last preseason game. And then I'm trying to think who it was I saw. It might have been Apple, actually. He took a bad angle, but then the next play, his body line, going in for the play, he looked way better. So, we'll see.
Well, I also saw a play with Noah Igbu. I'm gonna say Igbu, where he was just a second off from picking off a play from a receiver. And I may get criticized for this, but I'm seeing Igbu getting better as well. And then also too, with the depth we have with our defensive backs, I mean, I'm very pleased with that. And like I said, we're used to the injuries, and he will make the right decisions as far as getting us to where we need to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's been improvements on a lot of our defense since we brought in Fangio. And I'll tell you what I see tomorrow, too, because I'll be at the practice tomorrow.
We appreciate all that, those good takes, Papa Paul. I mean,
I didn't bring my good camera with me this time, but we'll just have to wait and see what they do tomorrow. It's supposed to be
camera right here.
Fan appreciation tomorrow, so we'll see how much they appreciate us.
That's right. That's right. Well, I mean, what I have seen, especially in the running backs room, when we look at those guys taking the field, what I saw was very hungry players, guys wanting to make the team and working hard to do it. So, I mean, we got some young guys out there.
I agree with you, and that's where I said I think we have quite a few UDFAs out there that are really impressing a lot of coaches.
Yes.
And I haven't seen something like that in, God. I mean, yeah, we had a couple last year, but not as many as we have this year. Really hitting the high marks out there.
And it's a problem to figure out who makes it, right? Like it's a problem.
It's a problem, but in some ways it's a good problem.
It's a great problem. Yes.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, you hope you can keep these guys on the practice squad at least and not lose them to some other team.
The way they're showing out, I don't see some of these guys staying on the practice squad. I really don't.
I agree
Same
with
here.
you. I
Especially
agree with
Chris
you.
Brooks.
Yeah.
I don't see Chris Brooks staying on the practice squad.
I've been telling everybody because everybody's like, "What you think about Brooks?" I said, "Brooks is nice, but Brooks is going to get picked up by somebody. He is. That's just the business. That's just how it is. You can't keep everybody."
No,
I think he's going to make the team. Actually, I think he's going to make the squad. That's just yeah.
And the reason I kind of agree with you, Pam, on that is because he's a different style of running back.
Yep.
He's not a little guy,
right?
Like all the rest of our running backs. He's got the ability to really push through some things.
He does, and with that, he has that. And there was a particular run play that he did, and I saw him just shift, like literally like a little skip to the side. I mean, he's got the moves on top of the power. He's a bigger running back, and I was bringing out the point earlier today about him being Texas A&M's entire offense last year. I mean, they stunk it up, but they played some tough games, some tough teams, and Brooks was successful on a bad team.
Chris Brooks was on what team?
A&M.
He was on A&M as well as A-Chain then.
Oh, no, I'm talking about A-Chain. Sorry. I'm saying the wrong name. Yes, A-Chain was their whole offense. So you look at these young guys, look at A-Chain, Brooks. I mean, what a decision.
I hope we have A-Chain for at least a couple of years because I got some shirts made up. I got to be able to sell them.
If nothing else, sweat rags or something. I don't know. That's right. Dolphins thirsty. It was BYU. That's right. I was saying Brooks in here. It was A-Chain.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the schools. BYU's not that far from from A&M really.
That's true. But I mean, you look at these guys and they look great. I'm trying to figure out who are you going to take, and I thought A-Chain was a lock, but then he kind of got a little nicked up.
Yeah, and I still think he's a lock because he's I hate when people talk negative during preseason and practices because it doesn't. They're like he doesn't do anything he's not a kick returner, punt returner. He had 35, 38-yard kick return and stuff.
That's right.
They're like, he can't return the ball. He can't. And if you look at some of the footage where he tried running and he didn't get but maybe 2.5, 3 yards because there was no opening for him whatsoever. And he's trying to run the play that they told him to run and stuff. And
I'm with you, Papa Paul. The negativity on a preseason game, we're already going to have a cow. Let's not have a cow.
I mean, A-Chain already knows the offensive scheme better than some of the guys still on the offense from last year.
Yeah.
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 Trust
You know,
me.
and that's
Go ahead, Papa Paul. Finish. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. It's okay. That was one of the things his coach in college had mentioned about how quick he learns things.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Dolphins Thirsty here.
What's he
That's a
got?
good comment. He's saying that running back, Lock, Mostert, A-Chain is healthy. Yeah.
Ahmed had Wilson as lock, but no longer sure. Brooks may take that space. I think so because, like I said, Brooks is a different built running back.
Yeah.
Ahmed and A-Chain are very similar in a lot of ways. But Brooks is just totally different. He's 220 something or 225, I think.
And 6'1" at that.
Yeah. And that's big for a running back.
Yeah.
That is big for a running back.
The boy's a beast.
And he was aggressively. I mean, it's like he reminds me kind of aggressively like a Jed Jahi.
Yes.
You know, he has that aggression, that dog in him. That I'm going to do what I can to get to where I need to go. And if I have to run through you or over it, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, special about him, and I mentioned this on another platform, and I got criticized because they were saying, okay, well, you said that about Jared Doak. The thing I made clear is that when it came down to Jared Doak's, what's that other guy, Zacondrio White, this guy Brooks is different. To me, I see a difference with him. So I'm going to watch him if they put him in with the preseason game, but I feel something special about this guy. I'm not saying that he's a number one running back or nothing like that, but if we were to put him on the 53-man roster, I'll put him at number 4.
Yeah.
I mean, cause he'll be our, and that's personally how I feel.
And I was with you on that, Mr. Polk, and I was saying that, and then you came behind me and were agreeing with me. Yeah, you got hit pretty hard on that. But you were right. I agree with you. He looks special. He has that drive, that angry run.
Right. So we'll see, and we'll see with the next preseason game. But I don't think if you put him on the correct squad, he's not gonna be there. He's not gonna be there. No.
Yeah, Dolphins Thursday. Gaskin got hurt last week or in practice or something. I think he's on his way out from the Dolphins. Honestly, Gaskin.
And I like the guy a lot.
Yeah, I like the guy, but I just don't think he's got enough to make the team this year.
Either. Yeah, I think he's gone too. And if it comes down to Brooks or Gaskin, who you gonna take? I'm on Brooks all day. And I mean Myles Gaskin, he plays with so much heart. I love Myles Gaskin as a guy and a player. But am I willing to give up, another really good running back for that?
A lot younger running back that is not even into his prime yet, really.
Yes.
I don't know. I was impressed with Gaskins in the first preseason game, but you also got to realize that was against second, third, and fourth stringers.
Yes.
So
you're right there. Yep.
I don't know. But let's see. It's almost 10:30. I think we're going to call it a night at this point.
Yeah, I think it's definitely.
I'm not pulling the all-nighter like some of the guys do and stuff.
I definitely want to give a shout out to the Defense Tailgate for that crazy 12-hour stream. Shout out to Crypto and Rabbit Dolphin Lewis. That was insane, man.
It
And
was-
I went out, did chores, came back, they were on. I did stuff around the house, they were on. I ate dinner, came back, they were on. Literally, they
You
were
went to bed,
on.
got up the next morning, and they're on.
Oh, yeah, I really, and then what's
There
funny,
you
no,
go.
what's funny is I woke up and the top of the morning, their top of the morning show was on. So definitely, thank you, Dolphins Thirsty. I appreciate you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for everybody that tuned in tonight. Thank you, Pam, for joining us. Mr. Polk, thank you for joining us. Thank the regular crew, John, Maria, Tom. Thank Miss Shannon Needham for joining us this evening. Papa Paul, if it wasn't for you, you make things possible. We appreciate you.
Oh,
And
let me make a quick announcement on September 12th. It's a Tuesday. Richmond Webb will be on.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so you're
Love
gonna be on
Richmond.
Tuesday and a Wednesday, right?
yeah, it'll be a Tuesday that Richmond Webb's on, and then Wednesday will be our regular show.
Okay,
Wednesday,
double shot. I like
yeah,
that.
that
So,
Wednesday.
Mr. Polk, you're more than welcome anytime. You're a fan favorite of ours. As you know, we don't go yelling and screaming in here over each other. But we all let each other make their points. You know, where
Right.
when you have certain others, which since they're not watching, we're not going to discuss names. We will be polite.
Right.
But it's all good. They helped me out getting started, some of them, and they've been on some of them been on the show here, and I appreciate all of them. I appreciate everybody. This show is for you guys. I started this show in the intent of for DolFans. It's not for me. It's not for winners. We're just here monitoring things. And we want you guys up here talking about your opinions and what you see and what you feel. You know, I will, winners might not necessarily, but I will shut you down on too much negativity or too much over talking.
You know, I have no problem sitting there and welcoming it and then laughing at the point and then probably shutting down the point. You know, I have no problems doing that.
Yeah.
So,
I appreciate the opportunity, guys, and the respect. I really do. I appreciate it a lot.
Pam, we love you, hon. You
Pam,
already.
Pam, we love you, and we love your outtakes on everything because I tell you what, you know more about football than some of the guys I've been listening to.
In fact, Pam know more than me because I'm still learning.
But we love everybody. That's all I can think of right now. Thank you, everybody, for just supporting us. Winners, anything else, winners?
Shout out to the Birthright Brewing Company for having me and Ali Goodman and everything this past weekend. Like I said, real recognizes real, family supports family regardless, no matter what's going on. Sometimes it's deeper than Dolphin football, and we should support each other and love each other as one. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as always, everybody have a good night. God bless. Peace, love, and fins up.
Fins up, guys.
Fins up. Have a good night.